G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game of Age of Mythology Retold. We are here on the stress test. This is day number 3 of the stress test. We're bringing you guys a little bit of action. Have a look at this. We got ourselves a very cool civ. I think the first time we might actually be casting this civilization ever, which excites me greatly because I love this civ. This is such a fun civilization. Ladies and gentlemen, in the north of the map in the color blue, playing as... Give me a second here. There's Loki, and then there's Odin, and then there's Thor! That's right, it's Thor. It's the Crocs. He's playing Thor. You wouldn't expect crocodiles to be playing Thor, but they worked out some way to do it. A little bit of walking distance right here. He almost got the hippo in perfectly. So we'll talk a little bit more about this civilization and about the way that it works. But let's check in on the south side first and see who our second player is, ladies and gentlemen. In the south of the map, in the color red, playing as Hades. It's I Am Momo. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Watering Hole. One of the things to note about this map is there is a lot of hunt. Sometimes you get these little French connections. I don't know what French connections means, but I think it might be a store. You get these little connections across the edge. Sometimes you don't. And that can very much open up the game, especially when it gets to later in the game. And you've got things like trade going on. A few more avenues to attack the enemy. So let's come over and talk about Thor. So this is probably my... If I had to say my main squeeze, I'd be like, I'm a Gaia man, right? But then at the same time, Thor is what really makes me excited. I love Thor just because of how complex it is, but more importantly, just how much you can squeeze out at the beginning of the game for extra vills. That's right. The way that it works is simple. When you are playing as Thor, you've got access to this bad boy right here, the Dwarven Armory. Works the same as any other armory, in that you can research technologies there. The only difference is you can research them in any age that you like. So you can see at the moment here, we've got copper armor that's coming through for the Crocs, and this is coming through very, very early on in this game, before he's reached the second age. And every single tech he researches, every tech he researches, I said it again, every tech he will research, he will get a free dwarf. And that's pretty big, because what's going to happen is that villager count is slowly going to be pushing in favor of him in the early game. Now, at this stage, I'm looking at the vill count. I'm wondering what's going on here. How many vills have we got? We've got 15 vills here on the side of the Crocs. And then compare that over to his opponent. It's saying that he's got 14, but oh my god, no he does. How does that work? Because this villager takes 15 seconds to make, right? And then these villagers take 15 seconds to make. And he should have 2 free villagers that have come out from the Dwarven Armory. So how is the villager count? I mean, it's 1 different, but it shouldn't. It should be 2 different. Anyway, we'll worry about that later. The point is you're getting free villagers out of the Dwarven Armory, and villagers pay themselves off very quickly. These ones are a little bit more expensive, but one of the little considered factors about the Dwarven Armory is now all of a sudden, not only do you not have to spend that extra 150 wood on an armory later on if you want to go to the heroic age, but you've already got those upgrades, which can be really pivotal once you start getting bigger fights, bigger numbers that are going. So I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what the Crocs is going to have in store for us today. The age ups are about to start coming through for the Crocs. Now, it's going to be Forseti that he's going to be opting for, so going to be going into the Troll. We'll have the Healing Spring available with Forseti, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Heimdall is the Kraken through the earth sort of guy. Anyway, Hades on the other side. Let's check in with what the age up is going to be. Looks like he's about, oh my god, got himself quite a bit of food in the bank there. But age up coming through a little bit late here for these guys, I'll say that much. It's going to be Athena. Nice little TC pop. How you doing over there? Very nice. You can see that this is an OG AOM player because he was already out on this hunt in the middle. The reality is you just don't need to be out there. You can just stay on this starting hunt that you've got down in the back of your base. You don't need to be going out to it. I mean, you've even got the gazelles right here, and that's the other thing about this map is there's just so much hunt on this map. So realistically, how do we expect this to play? Well, Hades, you've got a couple of ways you can do it. You can just go for the one base kind of play. We've seen them go for aggressive town centers in the middle before and then put a whole bunch of sentinels around it. That's an option for us. And on the side of the Crocs, I'd like to see a little bit more of like a fast heroic style. I think that's really where the power comes in. But hold on. Drongo. We didn't do any relic review yet. We're almost 5 minutes into this game, and we're going to do a relic review. All right, let's do it. Let's quickly, we can do it. Okay, first relic here. It is buildings are constructed faster. I think that was 10%. Text of Imhotep, I'm going to be honest with you. I wouldn't be going for you. I'll say that's a D tier. Increased Vil movement speed plus 10%. That's S tier. There's no discussion about it. That is just an S tier. So many vills you're going to be able to save from raids just because of that little extra movement speed. And in the event that you save one villager in the game, it's a huge bonus of resources. So incredible. The sledge. This is the best relic in the game. So good to see it. We got ourselves a little bit of a dance-off in the middle here. Big bad boy Minotaur going to start crushing the numbers and also crushing the troll. Troll, unfortunately, getting absolutely destroyed. A little bit of a mistake by Crocs pushing up so far. Let's check in on what those other relics were. I think we have another one down on the bottom side here. Let's have a look and see with Momo. Yeah, Momo's got nothing in the bag at the moment. Good night, sweet prince. And we now start to have some Hersiers coming out, though, into the map. Looks like he should be able to clean this up without too much trouble. Minotaur going to get cleaned up. Second town center going to be attempted here for Momo, so can look to put those sentinels down. Let's check in what the relic was for the Crocs here back in the base. So we've got the Text of Imhotep, and we've got the Tower of Cestus, which increases tower attacks against myth units. I'm not a fan of this. Like, sure, okay, I appreciate it, but it's one of those things where it's like, maybe, you know, a C tier if you're lucky, but you're probably not lucky. It's probably going to be a D tier. Then it looks like the last relic has come over here. On the south side, we've got, oh, that's the villager movement speed. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we've seen all 4 relics, so it's just 4 relics. I swear some maps, they give you 5 relics, some maps you get 4, some maps you get 6. I don't know how it works. Ajax now going to be coming out, though. We can see right here, aggression early on here from Crocs. The plan is to throw for an early longhouse down here. We're going to ride on board with him. Now, he doesn't know about the second town center yet. He knows about the walls. He knows about the Minotaur coming across the map. Obviously, he's dealt with that, but look at this longhouse. Look at this aggression coming out right now from Thor. I'm loving it. This is beautiful stuff. Raiding Cavalry going to be heading down on the south side of the map. We can see roughly where they're going to be going for. Town Center is going to get spotted. Keep in mind, he does still have those sentinels in the back pocket. Jeez, I'm having a little bit of trouble here getting my words out. I might have to take a swig of water. Give me a second here, ladies and gentlemen, as the healing spring comes down. Where's he putting that? Right at the front of the base and says, you know what? I'm getting ready. I like that. I like that. All right, give me a second here. We're going to get ourselves a drink of water. All right. Give me a sec. I say in every video that I've got water, but water is S tier. We got ourselves a little bit of production towards the top side. Ajax is looking to defend. Vil will go down. Couple of hoplites here should be able to defend. No real issue, but the fact that the villager went down is a little bit painful. Second TC's online, though, so I feel like it's not a huge deal. Towards that front now, we do start to have a bit of pressure beginning to build, but the fact that the walls are up, I really like this a lot. It just buys time for Momo on the defense here, so really well played to him so far. Let's check back in and see how Crocs is doing there. We're going to get rid of that line of sight and just get a bit of an idea on what's going on. You can see he's got the houses all across the map, exactly how you want to be building them as the Norse. You love to see that kind of just dropping the houses wherever you can. But look at the aggression coming out already from Momo. Keep in mind, he's on 2 TCs. This is a lot of units, actually. It's a lot of vills. Look at that. We got some villager numbers that are out and about here. He's managing to put the daggers into him. Also going to be able to take out 2 houses for free, so definitely a little bit of a mistake, and if he's unlucky, he may lose that 3rd one as well. One of the best houses, I would say, in the game. Like, realistically, this house right here is probably the most expensive house. Beautiful waterfront view. Quite literally, oh, actually, now that I think about it, you know, with global warming and all that shenanigan going on, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. You know, it's, it can always be a little bit tough living in the flooding zones, we'll say that much. But, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, it's a double-edged sword, right? It's a double-edged sword. Anyway, speaking of swords, no swordsman here, but we do have on the backside the Toxers. We're going to try and take out the Berserks, doing a pretty decent job, slowly hammering away here. Meanwhile, also got the throwing axeman. Resto's going to come in. Beautiful restoration, keeping alive a lot of those frontline hoplites. Keeps the tempo up as well. You might look at that and think, okay, it's not a big deal. You know, there really wasn't. He was going to win the fight anyway, but now he just guarantees that his numbers are so much higher than his opponent is. Keep in mind, he's on 2 TC. So I feel like for Crocs, he's gone about this the wrong way. I think he definitely needed to come out of the gates raring to go. But when it comes to, like, this sort of shenanigans, and even like this here, I feel like you're way too aggressive. I think you need to be playing into that heroic age. Is that a market? That's a market in the middle of the map. Okay, so he's going heroic age, but the problem that I've got, so he's going into Skadi. I think this is okay. If he was going into, I think it's Bragi, the big issue that he's going to have is he's lost all of his units, right? Like, he doesn't have a big mass. At least with Skadi, he can kind of buy himself a little bit of time through the Frost, so probably a smart move to be moving into that direction rather than going into Bragi. Though, to be honest, even though Frost is decent, I still prefer those flaming weapons. It's just, it's arguably one of the best skills in the games. You know, I've been thinking of doing a tier list of, like, not the actual minor gods themselves, but just, like, the minor god hero powers or minor god powers. So, like, these ones that you get at the top. And it's kind of hard, right? Like, how do you compare Sentinels to, like, Meteor from Thoth? It's just, like, they're two different spells, but it's, like, I think you probably want to compare them and the strength of that spell at the time that it exists, if that makes sense. But anyway, look, we'll talk about that another time. Ilum, let me know if you want to see that video, because I'd be definitely keen to make it. And we can 100% do it very, very easily. But numbers now are going to start to build here for Momo. Plenty of units out and about now for him. The only issue is Crocs. He's now in the heroic age. Do we have the age up going to be coming through? He's got to look to Frost down on the enemy units. Now, keep in mind, once this Frost has been exhausted, the town center is coming up as well. So he freezes that. He's now going to be able to take out the units over towards the west side. Can then come over, take out the town center. It's got another 37 seconds on it. So it means that that TC is going to be absolutely knocked out. He can't let this TC get up because if he does, the Sentinels are going to be able to help defend it. So he needs to make sure that he runs over here, looks to try and take out that settlement, and it looks like exactly what he's going to be doing here. So he's got another 20 seconds, plenty of time. Frost Giant is here as well. Might be able to save that big roar for from when it's needed, and you can see quite a few units under here. That's right on board with Momo. The age up is through. He's going to be going to Aphrodite. No real surprises there, so the curse will be on the way. You can see he's got that unit mass at the back. 5 seconds to go. Vil's going to be under attack. I feel like it makes more sense to be attacking towards this position here, but he may not even look to stick it. Now at the backside, Great Hall going to be coming down. Throws away a couple of raiding cav on the front. A little bit of a mistake. Now starting to push forward. A lot of Vils idled out. Great Hall will come online. Town Center going to be built once again. And now we've got Ajax working down the Frost Giant. He's not going to be able to freeze it, so kind of wasting it here. This is not looking good right now for the Crocs. With the age up coming through, keep in mind the Sentinels are almost going to be ready to go here. He's got the curse. A whole bunch of Berserks now coming online. He can curse them straight away. Boom, there you go. Have some food. Have some bacon. Get your pigs in there. But the numbers are still okay. A couple of Shades now going to be making their way towards the front. More Berserks. He's popped everything. He's turned everybody into Berserks. Settlement now going to be forced off this. You can see, look at the numbers. He's brought in a huge amount of Berserks to back himself up in that midline. Knows that if the TC gets up, he's going to be in trouble. Nemean Lion now online. Will get himself off a nice little roar here. Beautiful stun. Shade's going to be coming through as well here. Looking to back up. Plenty of hoplites on the way. Tox is here as well. Meanwhile, over towards the right side, it looks like we've got a hoplite just doing a little bit of annoying shenanigans. Vil's going to be thrown back once again on the settlement, and that's going to be it. The Crocs resigning at 12 minutes and 58 seconds. Unfortunate for him. I feel like he played it very well this game. A couple of little things, and I reckon he would have had it. You know, just typically the way I think it needs to be played is you want that cohesive push towards the front. You don't want to be mixing things out like this. Try and keep it together. Never really want to take a fight, and then once you're able to get up to that heroic age, that's when you look to take the fight with that flaming weapons. But unfortunately, Momo doing a really nice job on the defense. I want to really compliment him on these walls that we saw, just stopping his opponent at any opportunity he looked to try and take advantage of. And, of course, able to defend over on that east side very easily just by pulling the Vils, giving himself a nice little buffer there. So very well played by Momo. Didn't ever really look in doubt. So very well played to him. And let's take a look at that post-game. All right, so we'll start off by looking at the resources collected. Keep in mind there was a second TC dropped very early. So naturally that villager number will start to grow, or rather that resource number will start to grow apart very, very quickly. However, have a look at this. When it gets to the 10-minute mark, they're actually... Oh, hold on. Give me a sec here. We've got the Crocs that is going quite far ahead, and that's because he's got those extra little dwarves from his armory. But then finally, it took him some time, but he managed to catch up and then eventually eclipse his opponent by about 2k in the end. Let's take a look at that civilian unit count. Yeah, you can see that we've got a little bit of a... Geez, what's going on here? There's no real flat periods, is there? I mean, there's a couple in here, right? Like, you're looking at 28 Vils down here over to 27. So it took a while to get these Vils out just in this little area here. So I think that's probably what did it for him. But other than that, well played. I'll give it over to Momo. And ladies and gentlemen, we will catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.